Hello everybody, this is my Japanese grey-barked elm. It's got a nice chunky trunk under there and it's been allowed to grow unchecked this season. It's the 24th of June 2020 today, and as you can see it is leaping for the sky, and I think it's high time really, that I chopped it back. As I say, it's mid to late June at the moment, but you won't be seeing this video until probably September. What I'm going to do today is just a really rough chop back on this tree. Just to kind of bring it back within bounds. Remove pieces that I don't like, such as this piece, which is growing straight from the front of the trunk here. If I chop a couple of these pieces, you'll see what I mean. It's growing directly out of the front of the trunk, so I'm going to remove that entirely, which will also give you a better view of the chunkiness of the trunk. Well, kind of, if this branch wasn't here. As I say, this is just a really rough chop. I want the tree to backbud profusely, and then I'll make some selections, possibly on branches to keep, etc. As for the top, you can see this tree had a major chunk chop here many years ago, and I've been trying to grow out a leader for many years, with some success. I mean, from here it doesn't look too bad. From here I have a bit of a bulge in back, but it is in back, so I can live with that. I'm just going to chop this top piece right off. I'm not going to bother air layering it. It's a bit late in the year now. I suppose you could possibly get away with it, but I really just want to chop this tree back hard. Any kind of worrying about what's going where, really. It's had a while to put on growth and strength, and I hope that this harsh chop will cause it to backbud prolifically. This is no way about an instant bonsai. This has been many long years coming. It may seem very harsh, but I've been watching this tree on the bench, and it's for a long time not been a tree that's really cooperated with me. That almost makes it sound like I'm punishing it. Not so. This is more of a back to the drawing board kind of thing. Dead stub there that can come out. I think I've had this tree about 30 years. But I couldn't swear to it. Provenance is not always my strong point in remembering where and when I got things from. I don't like this point here where I have two branches coming from the same place, so I'm going to remove one of them. going to remove that back one. And I don't like either of these, so I'm just going to lose both of them. Yeah, I think that's probably enough work done to it for today. Now I have two branches there, one on top of one another, and as I'm being brutal anyway, I'm going to remove the lower one, keep the top one. I'm going to remove that that's growing backwards. As I say, brutal. I do quite like, I have a upper branch, or a branch going over this one, and forking under, so I'm going to keep that. And take that out. This tree has got lots of faults, but I still love it, and you know, sometimes in the brutal world of professional bonsai, they would probably throw this out, or I don't know, they would find something to do with it maybe. And it's got this strange sort of undercut here, so anyway, well, that's given it quite a haircut, and we'll come back later in the year and do some more filming, and that's when you'll see this. Let's give it a quick 360 just so you can see how much was chopped off. Gonna have to clean up some of this moss off here as well, but I won't bore you with that. Okay, so we're back with the second part of this video on this grey barked elm, and as you can see, it's really grown well, put on a lot of growth going all the way up, and it's the 9th of August today. Anyway, let's give you a bit of a 360. As you can see, it's put out a lot of growth all around, and it's looking quite healthy now. So what I need to do is cut it back some and decide which of these I want to keep as a leader and which I'm going to lose. Okay, so moving in a bit closer. I'm not going to be doing a huge amount of work. I'm not going to be wiring it or doing a lot of shaping. I may wire up the new leader when I've decided which one that'll be, but otherwise I've just given this tree its head to grow some, and now I'm going to cut it back and bring it back into check, as it were. It had looked a little weak, I must confess, and I really don't want to lose trees, so sometimes it's good to give them time to stretch out and grow, get as many leaves on as possible, which will help fuel the roots, which will help fuel further top growth, and so on. The cycle continues. Okay, so coming round, just shortening things off. Should induce further back budding on this tree. And I've spent a lot of time building this first part of the trunk. As you can see, it's a gnarly old trunk with some good taper where I chopped it, and that scar is gradually filling in. The bark is rolling over now. So hopefully eventually it'll fill in. Whether it'll fill in my lifetime is another matter. And now we're trying to build this top. So I fear that we may get a bit of inverse taper if I'm not careful in this section. And I may have to do a bit of carving up here at some point, but we'll worry about that in the future. Okay, so I've got two branches coming from the same point here, and I'm going to lose the one that's going upward in favour of this horizontal one. And we're nearly at a point where I need to make a decision as to which of these top pieces becomes the new leader. I don't like this. This is I deliberately cut it off longer, taller than I wanted, to give me some options. It hasn't turned out as many options as I would have liked, but I don't like this long straight piece, so I'm gonna lose some of that. I think this piece won't work. The way the trunk sweeps up, I feel we need to come in this direction more. This is too high, therefore this will be the logical choice. And I'm going to leave that branch there. No, I'm going to lose that branch there because we do have a little bit of swelling here and a bit of inverse taper there, so I'm going to leave this branch and remove these. In fact, that branch can be left to grow now as a sacrificial branch, unless and until of course I come along and forget that I said that and chop it off anyway. Okay, so I'm sure what to do with that one. I'm going to shorten that one. And I need my larger cutters to deal with this. So now I'm going to start by chopping it off at this point, and then I can nibble back down to that shoot. So it's taken off a fair chunk of this tree. I'm really annoyed with myself. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? I dropped these. These were cheap. These were probably the most expensive bonsai tool I've ever bought. When I dropped these crossing the patio, and they landed point down and actually chipped a chunk off. So they don't quite meet. They're not as effective as they were. Hence, if you don't get it in just the right place, you leave a piece like that, which is not good, not helpful. But I'm going to have to try and get myself a new pair. Make sure that I get them in the right place on this cut. Still didn't get it in quite the right spot. Okay, try again. Third time's the charm. No, it's not. A little bit of it left behind, but I can trim that back. Okay, so now it's just a question of teaching this side branch that it's actually the new leader. That's why it's too thick. This might be too thin, but I think it'll be alright. I'm not too worried about shaping this piece, it's just getting it vertical. Okay, so a little bit of movement. This piece, I can't decide whether I want to lose this piece, keep this piece, so I'm going to keep it and chop it back later if I need to. Okay, so move you out slightly and we'll give you a 360. It's a funny old tree, it's got a definite back. Some of my trees, you know, they can be looked at from either side, but this has got a definite back. It's got that strange old slope and no real roots at this point. These lovely roots at the front, so anyway, 360. So that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. In these troubled times, please take care of yourselves. Stay safe.